portfolio. It is an employee management tool from recruitment to retirement. So hire to retire, that's really our focus, helping you engage and empower your employees, your managers, and connect your employees to their business, so that all their employee information, and helping everyone make good decisions and keeping employees engaged and empowered with your company. Get the presentation going here. There we go. For those of you who are already Sage customers, you know that our goal is to be recognized as Sage as the most valuable supporter of small and medium-sized business. And there's no greater way for us to do that than to connect with your employees. I love this quote from Stephen Covey, the author of 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, because I think it really illustrates how the Sage HRMS tools can help connect your employees, challenge them, and then, of course, drive your organizational success. Whether you're a not-for-profit or a for-profit, organizational success means different things. But having employees recognize their own value, share the value with the other employees, and then recognize what their opportunities are within your business is really key to helping your business grow and continue to succeed with profit or also with services that you provide. So at the core of our HRMS portfolio, we always ask ourselves the question, what makes your organization unique? What makes it special? What drives you every day? And we know the answer is always people. How you hire them makes a huge difference. How they feel about the company, if they have the right tools to do their job, if they understand what their career path is, all of those things impact the success of your business. And we recognize that your payroll is most likely the largest line item on your profit and loss statement. It is an investment. As you hire and recruit, as you retain employees, that knowledge that they build definitely pays out to your company over time. And we call that return on employee investment, or ROEI. Many of you in finance are probably familiar with ROI, but this is a special way that we classify employees. The payroll dollars, the training dollars, performance management, all of that does kind of contribute to the success of your organization. The risks when return on employee investment isn't maximized can be huge. And with our workforce changing, with millennials entering the workforce and now entering management, some of the ways that those employees want to interact with their own data is changing. So employee satisfaction and retention are big risk factors. When employees don't understand their current role, or they're having trouble communicating with management or understanding what we're trying to accomplish, a lot of those things place a high value on employee satisfaction. Also retaining them, because the landscape now for hiring the right candidates is becoming more competitive, especially with the shortage of jobs, with our baby boomers kind of leaving the workforce over the next 4 to 5 years. The statistics show that within the next 5 years, over 46% of our North American workforce will be millennials. So we'll be recruiting, we'll be trying to attract and retain the right candidates. We also have compliance risks for things like simple policies, company policies, overtime policies, and productivity loss, the work-life balance. For some of you, that's a new concept. A lot of our millennials are driving that because they do value that sometimes more than actual compensation and benefits. So the Sage HRMS portfolio of products really addresses every component of that employee life cycle. The great news for you is that we are a building block solution, so you can sort of plug in pieces right where you need them quickly. For instance, if recruiting is a big challenge, that's a standalone component that you can just plug right into whatever you're doing today for payroll without having to change anything about the processes that you currently have. Something like time and attendance, again, a standalone product that can plug right into your Sage payroll. If you're using Sage Payroll today, You can add the time and attendance or the recruiting without having to change anything about how you're processing HR or payroll today. We will be having webcasts following this one. This is more of an introduction to the whole picture. We will have webcasts coming up that focus on each of these pieces. So if there are specific things you'd like more information on, please do let Joan know or send us some information in the chat, and we'll be happy to make sure we target our upcoming webcast specifically for the things you're interested in. We can also always do a very personalized demonstration with your team. When you get back to the office, we can do a webcast or maybe even an in-person demonstration of the software for you. So the components of the life cycle, if you think about your day-to-day, the paperwork that's piling up on your desk, those might be the areas that you'd want to focus on first and choose the right pieces to kind of plug into your existing system. I mentioned we are a complete end-to-end hire-to-retire solution. So of course, everything works best in the whole picture, but it's all focused around this core human resources data. So all of your employee personnel information, you may have some of this in spreadsheets today, pay rates, supervisor information, leave time, benefit information, all of that is our core human resources module data, and it feeds all of the other tools that you're seeing. So I did mention there's a time and attendance component, a recruiting component, a training component. Learning management is becoming a very hot topic. Again, we're seeing the millennials sort of driving this. For many of you, this may be a very new concept, but we're starting to see in human resources that the human resources and payroll experience needs to feel like Facebook. It needs to be transparent. It needs to be easy for the employees to use. And for so many of our Sage customers, this concept is foreign. We have paperwork today. We have paper reports we send out. But employees are demanding more employee self-service. And the great news for HR and payroll staff and finance as well, the more we give the employee the ability to manage and control their own information, with approvals, of course. HR and payroll approve everything. But the more we engage and empower the employees to manage their own information, the less data entry we have to do in the office, and the more connected and engaged the employees are with the success of the company, with the costs of things, and we're connecting the HR and payroll data to your general ledger. So to your existing Sage 300, Sage 100, Sage 50 solution, you're giving you the ability to get more real-time alerts as managers. We're giving you the ability to pull better reporting, to control costs, while we're increasing employee satisfaction because they could see their leave balance at home on Sunday night. They don't have to wait until they get into the office to plan an upcoming vacation or to look at a budget. If I'm a manager, I can look at my employees' time. So there are a lot of tools that comprise this human resources portfolio. That's the word we like to call it, because it is kind of that hire to retire picture. And it depends on your business and your employees what is the most important area. If you recruit and hire 6 people a year right now, we understand recruiting is not a high priority. Maybe the training module or the time and attendance is a bigger benefit. Or maybe just having the ability to have employee self-service. So the pieces of the HRMS portfolio fit together kind of like puzzle pieces. So this is another way to look at it. And you really can just plug them in where they best fit your employee life cycle. There's no one right or wrong way to complete that workforce management picture for you. It's just what meets your demands. And again, think about the paperwork that's piling up on your desk. There are likely areas where we can target some more efficiency, better connectivity, or things that you're hearing in staff meetings or management team meetings. I need this information. I can't get to it easily. Those are the areas we'd want to focus on to find the right fit for making a change to the way you do process HR or payroll today. So we're moving now from kind of the big picture into the individual modules within the Sage HRMS solution. And we recently uncovered a study that Bloomberg did about how important it is to hire and retain the right employees. 84% of small businesses across North America said that is their greatest challenge right now. And it's interesting when we look at how the statistics actually played out. Training, leadership, controlling cost, attracting and retaining candidates. These have been the consistent hot topics for human resources and payroll for about the last 3 years. Last week I was in Las Vegas for the Human Resources Technology Conference. It's the largest North American technology conference for human resources and payroll. And again, I heard for the 4th consecutive year, learning management, training management, attracting and retaining the right employees is our biggest challenge, and it's continuing to increase as we compete for employees. So the Sage HRMS portfolio features a product called Fibertrained. And Fibertrained is a web-based tool. It also allows us to offer you either on-premise, so if you have your Sage 300 on-premise today, you can have an on-premise licensed version of the software. It's also available as a SaaS, or software as a service option. So you'll see a lot of the pieces in the Sage HRMS portfolio are available to be hosted or purchased as a licensed option. Gives you greater flexibility. And it does integrate to your existing HR and payroll. So as we hire employees, we can bring them right into Sage 300 payroll, or of course into Sage HRMS HR as well. It is very process-driven, and when you think about all the things that go on in the recruiting process at the same time, this can be an area where a lot of our customers really bog down because there's so many different things, scheduling interviews, ranking candidates, just the act of processing all the applications or incoming resumes. So all of this can be automated in Fibertrained, and this is a dashboard view as a manager, so you can see quickly everyone who's applied for this accounting assistant position. When we post this open job, it goes right to our current company website. Applicants apply through the web. The software can start to rank them based on qualifications, based on certain restrictions we may place on a position. We need them to have a specific license or specific years of experience. So it can score the candidates for us and even send out the thank you for your interest email, but you don't meet our qualifications. Please come back and apply again. All of those things can be automated through the Fibertrained system. So as I mentioned, once we post a position, it automatically uploads to our current employee portal for current employees, as well as to our company career website, wherever that is. And we can connect to other job boards. If you're currently using Monster or Career Builder or a local job board, we can automatically upload the data right to those boards to help with efficiency to get those jobs posted. And then once we have the actual applicants applying, the software, you can see here we call it a smart email. It's going to start to automate the whole process, both for the applicant and the people who are responsible for doing the hiring. So everything can be done by a manager on the go. They can certainly sit at their desk and see emails or log into Fibertrained, but everything is now very electronic friendly, so mobile devices, I can see my interview schedule. I can even click the little accept or deny button right here and just keep going about my day. So that's one thing we've definitely learned, that managers need this real-time information on the go, and they need to be able to access it and have it go right back to human resources and payroll or whoever it is that's responsible for recruiting, and then bring that employee right into our human resources or payroll database so that all of that process is now automated. And then, of course, from the applicant's perspective, we want to be sending them a request to start completing their paperwork before they even come in for their first day. So they're getting a feel for how engaged they'll be with the company once they start with us, how automated our systems are, how efficient our processes are. Because if you think about it, your applicant process is your introduction to your new employee for what they can expect when they come on board with you. So moving now from finding the right employees to actually keeping them and maximizing their efficiency, the rest of the HRMS portfolio is all centered on existing employee empowerment, whether they're an employee or a manager. With our core HR module, employees have and managers have access to all of their personal information. We can, of course, secure that so only the right people have access to it. It does have a self-service portal built in, so employees can access their information, view leave balances, request time off, even make changes as simple as changing their home telephone number or home address. And of course, with approval, HR can definitely approve that before it automatically updates HR or payroll. And again, one of the most important components of the Sage HRMS picture is that we do integrate to your existing Sage products. So no duplicate data entry, and if you are using Sage 300 Payroll today, for instance, all of that employee data that you have in Sage 300 will populate into the Human Resources module. So you'll just fill in things that are missing, like maybe education or the training information, specific things that HR may be tracking on paper or in spreadsheets today, and that will all kind of feed all of the rest of the HR solutions picture. We're looking now at our employee self-service picture. I mentioned that it is a browser tool, so employees can have access to it from their mobile phones away from the office if you'd like. That is something that we can lock down, so they don't necessarily need to use it away from the office. Managers have the ability to see the information about the staff they supervise, and there is electronic analytics and reporting built into the self-service tool. So you can develop a quick report for each manager's department, and when the manager accesses that report from their mobile device, it automatically looks at their security and only shows them the employees who report to them. So a lot of really nice empowering tools for managers to have access to employee information, away from the office or on the go. If they're sitting in a staff meeting, they could just pull that data up very quickly. This is a manager dashboard view of the employee self-service system. So all of the software screenshots you're seeing today are from a day in the life as a manager perspective. So as a manager, I can see my own personal information. I have an employee menu, but I'm also able to see that information about the staff who report to me. So if I do have staff who don't have mobile phones or are not that computer savvy, I can assist them with questions and answers, as well as being able to maintain my own information, time off data, my pay stub history. For those of you who might still be printing paper stubs, this could be a solution for that. We can slowly migrate employees to start to look at the self-service system for their information versus a paper leave request form or a paper direct deposit or check stub form. And really, the whole picture does impact everyone within your organization, because at some component level, everyone is needing access to some of this information. So as you think about how to have a good positive impact in your business, we do want to be sensitive to the fact that you're impacting every employee as you roll out a self-service system or roll out a new recruiting or a time and attendance tool. So it's a great idea to put a team together from an employee representation level all the way up to management to make sure that employees see the systems and they like them and feel like they're user-friendly. The Sage HRMS portfolio does try to focus on ease of use and that mobility functionality. The time and attendance options are diverse. We have everything from just a web timesheet. So if you're on the honor system today and you want employees to continue with that, they certainly can. We have all the way up to an actual time clock on the wall or a mobile device collection, even biometrics. And again, this is one of the standalone solutions, so it can integrate to your existing Sage Payroll. You don't have to move to Sage HRMS Payroll to be able to use it. And it does offer a wide variety of options to interact with the time and attendance data. This is a manager dashboard view of the time and attendance software. Of course, most employers are going to access it from their mobile device, so it's going to be a little simpler screen. But as a manager, when I'm getting ready to approve time before payroll, I'm looking at my alerts, I'm looking at employer request for time off, and I'm sending all of that approval electronically now to payroll, and that's automatically populating my timesheets in payroll. One of the most popular tools lately is a tool called HR Actions, and essentially this is a paperless forms workflow tool. So think about all of the paper forms you have today, your new hire packet for onboarding new employees. Maybe you have a leave request form, or performance appraisals might be on paper, even manager type of information, a promotion form. All of that could now be in a computer screen, all of the data stored electronically. Employees can still add attachments to those, applicants can still add to those, and all of that information now flows electronically to HR and payroll. No data entry on pay changes. The other benefits of some of those things are, if you'll look about halfway down the screen, Joseph Black has a pay rate change this pay period. For those of you in payroll, I know you love retroactive pay calculations, just kidding. Now you have a dashboard view into the changes as they're happening, and so hopefully you can avoid a pay rate change coming in 2 hours after you just processed final payroll. You'll be able to see that it's sitting there and track down Joseph's manager, or if you have the right security, go ahead and push that through the process so it gets payroll updated right away. And kind of the last big picture item for the HRMS picture is a fairly new concept, employee learning management. And this is something I mentioned that the millennials are really driving. They want to be able to see what their career path is. They want to know what your company is doing to provide them the training and the ongoing performance information that they need. And so we have a learning management tool called Fibertrained, and that connects your HRMS data right to either content that you provide or content that's already built into the system, and then it updates the human resources module with all of that information. The Sage Alerts and Workflow component kind of rounds out our portfolio picture, and many of you are already familiar with this. This is the formerly known Knowledge Sync by VineyardSoft tool. So again, this is another way where we're integrating with your existing Sage tools. If you have this for Sage 300, it's the exact same tool for HRMS. So now you could connect GL data with HR and payroll information. For budgeting purposes, for annual performance increases, you can connect both your financial data with your HR and payroll data. Same with Sage Business Intelligence. The systems can use the same tools to report on information and send you alerts on all of your HR and payroll data. So as I mentioned in the beginning, Sage HRMS is an end-to-end comprehensive portfolio of products, and we will work with you to help you figure out where your greatest needs are and where we can bring the most value, whether it's automating time and attendance, or helping you stop overtime, or just helping with recruiting and onboarding. There's a tool in the portfolio to help you with each of those challenges, and we would love an opportunity to hear from you now. You all get your phones ready and your chat ready. If there are certain questions you have about any of the material we've looked at today, or if you just would like to have another dedicated webcast on one of the pieces that you saw. I'm going to open up the floor now to questions, and I think Joan will join me here, and we'll open up the floor for your chats and your questions now, please.
Yeah, I haven't received any messages through chat, so I don't know if anyone does have any questions or would prefer to ask themselves. They're more than welcome to, so the floor is open.
And Joan, do the callers need to unmute themselves?
I've unmuted the everyone. Does anyone have any questions?